inside of those files. So that's what we were doing here. So in the command line to do that is going to be echo. Now let's go inside of the donor, which is cd. We're gonna do cd. No, we want to get out first. Let's get out. Change directory, and then now let's go back inside of CAFALL Charity, and let's list them, and then cd inside of donor. Okay, make sure I get the right donor. Okay, now let's list what we have inside donor. We should be, oh, there you go. Now we have, see all the information that we need, which is gonna be Lisa. Okay, so now when you cat the cat, that will show you exactly what's inside of those information. As you can see, when I did cat Mary Jones.txt, it showed me the amount of donation she made, her email, and also the date, and then all the information. So let me just zoom out here so we have enough room. See exactly what I'm doing here. So now let's do cat, and then let's see Robert Wilson.txt. Make sure that we get it right, and then enter. There you go. Now we see his donation, his email, and also the date, and then the time, the date. Okay, so we have that information now. Okay, so now let's see. I can just, I don't know if you guys can see here, but let me just zoom out a little bit and zoom out again. And I did cd, and then just get out. Let me just clear. We already cleared the terminal here. And then now let's go ahead, and as the terminal is clear, now let's try to get back inside of our directory. So we already know how to create directory and how to echo file. So now let's see what we are. pwd, we are in our home, and we do list. We have all the different directories, and now let's clear. Now we want to go back inside of CAFALL Charity, cd CAFALL Charity, and then ls, which is going to be the list, and then cd to donor, which is our change the directory to donor. Now we are inside of donor, and we list them. We have all the names that we have there, and then now we clear. Okay, and then now what we want to do again, let's cd just to get out that file. Now we are out. Let's list again. Let's go back inside of CAFALL Charity, and it's going to be cd, and then now we are inside. We list the different directory that we have inside the subdirectory, and now let's cd into events. So now we are inside of events, right? Okay, now let's create this data inside of events. Now it's going to be touch, and then it's going to be, the first file is going to be charity gala.txt. okay, now that's the first one that we're going to create. And then now we want to add the second one, which is going to be fundraiser.txt. and let's see, let's create a third one, and run.txt. okay, now let's go ahead and create the third one, and the third one will be, let's see, so let's do it as volunteer underscore day.txt. That's our third file. Okay, now let's see if we have it there. So we still inside of events. Now we wanna, now let's see what here we want to echo events, see what exactly what we get inside. Now actually let me take it back. The echo is gonna add this information inside those files. So we want to add the event charity gala, and then now we want to echo like the date and random date here. Okay, random date, and then now have all the random date that we we got here, and the location of the fundraiser where it's gonna be. Let's choose let's do Senegal. Okay, now we have that. Now let's close the, okay, and then now where we want it, we want it inside of charity gala. Okay, that's where exactly here, this is where we want this information right here. So we're gonna echo it inside this file. Okay, so now we have that one is done. Let's do the second one, same thing. And then we want to create this data that we're gonna write down. It's gonna be echo, and let's see what we're gonna choose here. Fundraiser. Okay, and run date. And just let's see. I think I made a date, and let's choose a random date here again. All this information that I put here is so random. It's nothing, you know, it's random information. So let's do 2025 11 and 11. Okay, and location, let's choose Georgia. Okay, Georgia, and then it's going to go inside of fundraiser run.txt. Okay, let's see if I can type correctly. So it's gonna be fundraiser. Okay, fundraiser. Okay, looks like I made a mistake here. When I was writing here, I made a mistake, but I'm not gonna change. I'm just gonna leave it like that. I mean, you understand what I'm trying to write. So it was a mistake of me. So fundraiser run.txt. Okay, that's where we want this information that we just created. Okay, so now that we do that we had that, let's go for the third one, which is gonna be, we're gonna echo event, and then the name gonna be volunteer. Volunteer. Okay, volunteer day, and we're gonna create a date, a random date also, and then on that random date we can choose anything we want, and then here we want to also create a location. All right, location to Atlanta, and then where we want this information, and we want it inside of volunteer day.txt. Okay, so that's where we want this information. Volunteer date, volunteer underscore day.txt. Okay, and then we want to do enter, and then now we have this information inside of the events directory. Okay, so now let's see if you can see that information, if you can pull out those information. So we're gonna do cat charity gala.txt, and then see what we have inside. Okay, all right, let me just bring it here so we can see exactly more. So let's see where we are at. pwd, we are home, so we can list everything we have. We go inside of event, cd CAFALL Charity first, and we are inside, and then we list what we have. This is the different directory that we have inside, the subdirectory that we have inside of CAFALL Charity. And then let's go inside of donut, and then let's list what we have, and ls, and then list everything. This is the different files that we have inside of that subdirectory, which is donors. Okay, and then now let's see, let's check out Mary Jones, what we have there. So you do cat Mary Jones.txt. Okay, we have information that we put there, which is a donation, name, and everything. So let's do cd that to get us out back. Okay, let me see if I did it right. cd, now we out of donor, and now we all the way back home. Okay, so now let's clear, if I can type correctly today. So clear. Now we did clear the domain, the command line, and then now let's go back inside of CAFALL Charity and then list everything, and then cd events. Let's go inside of events. Let's list exactly what we have inside of events, and we have these different files right here, and we want to open one of the files, see what information that we have. So let's choose this one, volunteer day. Okay, and then we are inside. Now let's list what we have, and then if you want more detail, let's do list and then -ltr. It gives us exactly the name of the files and all the information, like when it was created. Okay, so now let's go back here and then do cat volunteer, and then just list exactly here. And after the list, let's try to go back and then cat one of these files. Okay, let's try the first one, and then this is what we have. We have the event, the charity gala, the date, location, and Senegal. Okay, so now those are the files, that information that we put on. So now we will just double check and make sure that we have everything. And now let's get out. Let's clear the terminal. I did create new data into like the directory that I create. Let's double check those new data. Okay, so we are here inside of CAFALL Charity. Let's list them, and then we have, let's try to see what we have inside of donor. Let's do cd donor, and then let's list. Okay, we have the name, which is Lisa, Mary, and Robert, and Sarah. Okay, let's get out of there, and let's go back inside of CAFALL Charity list, and then let's go inside of events, cd events. Okay, let's list what we have, ls list, and then we have these two files. Okay, now let's get out. All right, cd. Okay, now we are inside of, let's get out of events, cd. Okay, now we are back inside of CAFALL Charity. Okay, now let's get inside of financial. So to this, we're going to do cd financial, and then now let's list them. Okay, now this is what we have. Let me just kind of change so you can see. Okay, all right, so we are inside of finance, and this is the files that we have. Okay, and now let me clear so we have room here. Okay, now let's get out of financial. Okay, all right, now let's go inside of let's see, finance. Okay, let's list them here, make sure I have them right. Okay, let's go inside of volunteers. So cd, and then inside of volunteers, and then just list what we have. Okay, this is the text that we have here. Okay, so now let's try to echo one of these file, and then you see what we have inside of it. So let's do echo, not echo, let's do cat Emily, this one right here. Okay, so we have the role, her email, and her phone number. Okay, that's what we need here. So now let's try one more time, one more file. Let's try to see Michael, and Michael, let's see, Michael Brown.txt, enter. There you go. Now we see this is the data that we have inside of Michael. Okay, so now let's try to get out. All right, now we are out of, so cd okay, now we are out of volunteer. So now we are back on CAFALL Charity. Okay, so everything looks good so far. The next step will be, let's learn how to move one file from one directory to the next directory. Okay, so now let's go let's try to go inside of, let me see, let's go inside of CAFALL Charity. Okay, let's list what we have, ls, and then let's go inside of events, see what we have inside of events, and then ls, list them. Okay, we have charity, gala, and volunteer. Okay, so now let's get out here, which is cd, and to that will move you back one directory back. Okay, now clear, we are inside of CAFALL Charity, we are back inside of CAFALL Charity. So let's try to move the charity gala from events to financial. Okay, to do that you want to click the mv, which is move a file mv, and the current directory that is located, which is events. So let's do events slash, and then the name of the file we want to move charity gala.txt. okay, space, and where you want to move it, we want to send it inside of financial. Okay, financial, that's what we do. And then don't forget the backslash. Okay, so now we want to do enter. Okay, so now to know that if the file was moved there, let's try to get inside of financial and see if we're gonna find this file right here, charity gala. Okay, let's do cd, and inside of financial, enter. Let's do ls to list the files that we have there. Now there you go, we have our file here. So now that worked perfectly. Okay, now let's clear the terminal, and then now let's try to delete one file. Okay, let's say if you wanted to delete all the file. Now let's get out one cd dot and then enter, get you back one directory back. Okay, so now let's do list, let's go inside of donor, see what we have there. Okay, let's list ls, list them. Okay, let's try to delete this file right here, which is going to be sarah clark.txt. okay, Sarah Clark. Okay, let's try to this one, Mary Jones. Let's try to delete the Mary Jones file. Now let's get out, and then okay, we are out. So now to delete that file, we will need to do remove, and then Mary Jones .txt. okay, so that's what we, but before we do that, we want to make sure that we show exactly which directory it is. So let's do donor, because the file is inside of donor. Okay, so we do the file, we do remove the directory that the file is located, and then now we can put the name of the file. Okay, let's see, there you go. So now here the name of the file, and then now let's do enter. Okay, so now it looks like it's deleted, but to double check, let's make sure that we know the file is not anymore inside of donor. Let's do cd, and let's go inside of donor. If it's deleted, we wouldn't find it there, we will not find the file there. Cd, and then let's do ls, which is going to list the files. There you go, as you can see now the file is gone. Okay, so that's good, that's how you delete the file. Okay, so now let's see how to copy a file. Let me just get out of donor, cd dot enter, we are out, back in CAFALL Charity. Now let's go inside of donor and then copy this file, robert.wilson.txt, and then paste it somewhere else. Okay, so this one is size of donor. Okay, so now to copy, you want to do cp, and then the file, the location of the file, which was donor. Okay, and then now want to do the backslash here, and then the name of the file, which is going to be Robert Wilson.txt. okay, Robert Wilson.txt. okay, now where we want to copy it. Let's just make a space and then send it inside of volunteer. Okay, volunteer, and then enter. Okay, so now it looks like it went through. Now to know that if it went through, let's go